special edition of Crime Busters. That's right. As you would all know,
yes.
the Irish football team were the victims of a very serious robbery last week. Just half an hour before the Belgium match.
That's right.
According to Mr. Roy Keane, who called us earlier on in the day and asked us to put up this special crime line programme, the Irish players' balls were misappropriated by unknown individuals. We believe that there may also be terrorist links in regard to the misappropriation of the Irish players' balls. As everyone could see when they went out of onto the pitch, their balls were gone. They were hammered by Belgium, not a great team in the first game, and then
that's right.
To be sure. Now, as I said, there is speculation. We have intel from the CIA, the FBI, Interpol, and the Garda Special Investigation Unit.
They were badly stuck.
That the ISIS people may be behind this. And what's even more interesting is the fact that we believe the ISIS people may have been attempting to misappropriate or steal the Belgian players' balls. As you all know, Belgium has a major crackdown on the ISIS crisis lately, and I believe the ISIS people were intending to misappropriate, steal the Belgian players' balls. But unfortunately, due to some language barriers on behalf of the lowest of the low, the blackguards that were out there stealing people's balls, that they, instead of going into the Belgian dressing room, they went into the Irish dressing room.
I don't fucking know.
And unfortunately for Ireland, their balls were taken away. Now, if anybody has any information as regarding the misappropriation or theft of the Irish players' balls, would you please contact us at Millbrook Garda Station? And this is a news flash, a Garda flash. Put that fucking thing down, would you? This is not. I wanted a map of Syria and Afghanistan. That's the fucking Egypt. There's no way I can tell people about. Oh, for fuck's sake, you fucking idiot!
Right, 3-0 loss, a major defeat. What have you to say about the performance of the Irish lads there?
To be honest with you, Larry, I'm gobsmacked. I never thought I'd see an Irish team go out playing like that. I mean, see them here on the training pitch earlier on. I was away at the dentist. They're prancing about like without a care in the world. You can see them laughing and joking about the place here. This is just 4 or 5 hours before playing Belgium. I mean, Larry, come on. You know me. I won't take 99.99%. It has to be 120, lad. And these boys, I tell you, they played against Belgium. They played. All I can say, Larry, is they had no balls at all. Now, a lot of people might be saying that's a bit too forward, right? It's a bit too straight up. But this will never happen again, Larry. Because if they go out and do this against Italy, I will personally bring each one of them out individually and beat the living shite out of them, Larry. And I am still able to do that. I mightn't be able to play soccer anymore, but I can still beat the living shit out of these lads. And that's what I'll do, Larry, I'm telling you.
Are you sure that would be the right route to take, Roy? On account of you've had a few run-ins with the boys in blue before? Do you know?
Listen, Larry, don't start. You know me, you know the way I am. I'm just. I don't know what to say about their performance against Belgium, and the other fella, Martin, half of it was his fault. Get a point. That's a load of bollocks. And I'll be sorting him out too. Because there's no way we're going out against Italy playing like chase ball. That's all I can describe it as. Kick the ball up in the air and off we go. Like a pack of wild dogs, Larry.
Point taken, Roy. Point taken. Fair enough. Thank you, Roy. 10-4, 10-4.
Thank you, Larry.
George, what's the story?
Yeah, Mr. K is on Skype. He's ready to go.
Hello, Mr. Kenny. Are you there?
Yeah, good evening, Larry.
I have no footage of you yet, Mr. K. About the fact that the Irish players went out against Belgium with no balls at all, apparently stolen by some ISIS terrorists. What have you to say about, such a serious security issue for starters, and on the sporting front, well, balls up is the only thing I can say. What is your opinion about it?
Well, obviously, Larry, first and foremost, I was as shocked as everyone was to discover that there had in fact been ISIS terrorists in the Irish players' dressing room, and they had actually stolen their balls sometime before the match. I have talked to security service personnel, and they have informed me that the actual targets for the ball stealing job were the Belgian players. But that's neither here nor there now. They got a right doing over, in all fairness, and I spoke to Roy myself just a couple of hours ago, and he assured me that there was no way in hell that these Irish lads were going to go out and perform like that against the Italian team this evening. Because Roy has told me personally that if any players were even considering going out and playing in such a manner as they did against Belgium, then he would personally beat the living shit out of each one of them individually. And if he was in the mood, he was saying that he might just beat the shit out of the whole lot of them as a whole, as a group, as a team. And I wouldn't put it past him. You know what he's like. But anyway, I believe that Ireland will go out and beat Italy by 6 to 8 goals to nil on this evening, due to the fact that the Irish players have they've everything to play for and everything to lose, if you know what I mean.
Thank you, Mr. Tashik. George, what's the story now? What's the story with this fucking choir thing that keeps coming up in front of me? You're not putting up the pictures of me interviewing.
No, there's technical problems, Larry. But hold on a second now. Martin O'Neill is ready. He's ready for interview now.
Ah, for fuck's sake! I thought I was finished at 6.
No. He's live. He's on Skype 4. Go to Skype 4.
10 for that. No rest for the fucking wicked. Good evening, Martin. A great victory for the Irish team.
Oh, you're fucking telling me, Larry. After the Belgian match, we all had to sit down and have a serious think about how we were going to move forward, and the fact that Roy was sitting in the same room with us with a baseball bat and give us the incentive to play football like we did this evening. And as I said, as Mr. Kenny said earlier, we were expecting to beat these Italian lads by between a margin of 6 to 8 goals to nil. But obviously, if you were watching the referee there, the Romanian lad, I think his name was Dominescu or whatever, he denied us. We should have got at least 5 or 6 penalties in the first half and another couple in the second half. And one would have to question whether he may have had a couple of euros on a 0-0 draw, being from, I won't say anymore. But the Irish players went out and they showed everybody what they can do when they're in the mood, when the fear of God is put into them by Roy. And I was scared shitless myself, because if they had gone out and performed like they did against Belgium, well then I don't think I'd be here now, Roy. I'd probably be I'd be taking the high road to China, or how would you say, getting out of Dodge as quick as possible. But all's well that ends well, as they say, and quite a good evening after all, and we've qualified.